Hi guys, this is Holistic Health Harry with Jade Lotus, and we are going to talk about grounding elements and grounding, one of the 5 elements according to Taoism. So, Jade.
Okay. Hi. So you can't quite see, but we're sitting here on a log, and the log is going over the most tiny little stream that you can imagine. It is kind of like almost a little bit more of a kind of like muddy sort of residue that you could, if you were feeling creative, you could kind of stand in it, cover yourself in mud, you know. I don't know, maybe I'm more into that a little bit than Harry.
Yeah.
But there's actually like a little source here, and the water is coming out of the ground. And I just like this place to shoot the video because, like, I do think like there's something very like primal about the mud and the ground, and also it's something we're a little bit scared of, you know, mud, bacteria, disease, dirtiness. We like to wash it off, and obviously, you know, being clean is great, don't get me wrong, but mud and ground, yeah, is so important. And when we're talking about grounding here, you know, we can say, like, what exactly are we talking about, right? Okay, well, let's take these off. They're wet and muddy anyways. And let's start off by just putting our feet on the ground and just let's slow down to like half pace and breathe all the way out. So breathe out all the way, and then breathe out even more, and then slowly allow the lungs to fill up again. So we're going to do this again. Breathe out, don't breathe in, just breathe out, 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 out. Exhale, exhale, keep exhaling, breathe out more. Even when you feel like you can't breathe out anymore, breathe out some more, and then relax, allowing the lungs to just naturally fill up with air. So we're going to do that one more time. Yeah, one big breath out and blowing out, and keep blowing out. Even when you feel like you've exhaled all the way out, don't breathe in and breathe out again. And then breathe in, just allowing the lungs to naturally fill up on their own. And now we're going to just continue breathing, and as we breathe in, we're going to feel the belly is coming out. So when we breathe in and the belly comes out, what it means is that the diaphragm is properly activating, it's coming down, and it's actually massaging all of our internal organs, and it's taking our energy right into the belly. So Harry, if you want to continue breathing, just very, very slowly, deep in as much as you can, and then blowing out all the way, blowing out more, and then allowing that breath to naturally come in and out through your belly, really feeling your belly is coming out and going in. And this is called belly breathing. So what's happening is we're pulling the breath, which is prana or chi, we're pulling it into our belly, and in our belly we have an energy center which is called our dantian. Now, we actually have 3 dantians in the body, which also corresponds with what science calls the 3 brains. Yeah, so we all know we have a brain up here. Maybe less people know we also have a brain in our heart. You know, so the brain here, it's going to tell me like logical things. Like the brain, including the brain, it's going to tell me that mud down there is kind of yucky. Yeah, don't put your feet in it. There's bacteria in it. You know, and the brain, don't get me wrong, the brain up here, it can do really, really useful things for us. But when we drop the energy down from the brain and we bring it down from the brain into the heart, when we start feeling the presence of the energy center in the heart, we're going to feel like we're thinking from like a different place. So the place that we're thinking from is more like a place of intuition, you know, so feeling like, wow, I'm in a beautiful place. Yeah, maybe it's muddy, but it's just beautiful, and I can feel it's good for my soul, you know. But then when I drop the energy center down one more time and into my belly and feel the energy center in my belly, it's like a whole new different instinct sets in, and this new instinct is like the gut instinct, right? And I always say this thing, which is the brain is always going to play tricks on us, always, yeah. And even our heart can deceive us. but the gut instinct is never going to be wrong, and the gut instinct is what tells us that's a good thing, get away from that. And when we start learning to be grounded in our bellies and be in our bellies and feel our bellies and listen to our bellies, the whole way we operate in life changes. And we're going to do something now, which is I'm going to stand up and I'm going to ask you, please, kindly, okay, I'm going to be up here and I'm in my brain, and I'm going to ask him, push me. Yeah, so we want, maybe come over here so they can see. Just push me. I'm going to be up here in my brain. Push me.
Just going to get knocked over.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to put my energy center down here into my dantian, and now push me. Push me.
Wow.
Come on. Push,
Yeah,
push.
yeah.
Come on, Harry. You're doing nothing. Come on.
Much harder
Push,
rock, isn't it?
push, push. Harry, come on. Come on, Harry.
She's strong.
It's not strength. It's not
dantian.
strength. It's
No, it's
not
lower
strength.
dantian.
It's just I've changed the energy center, so it's like instead of being top heavy, I have my energy center down here, so it's difficult to basically push me over. Do you want to should we sit down again?
Yeah.
Okay. So why is grounding important? You know, well, there's a lot of like spiritual practices, and we like to bring the energy up, and bringing the energy up is like really good. But what often can happen when we bring the energy up is it can escape out of our head, or it can get stuck in our head. We can end up being scatty, headaches, tinnitus, things like that. So it's actually important also to bring the energy down and to create a circuit. And the way to really get the circuit going is actually just to put the energy into our dantian. So we say in Taoism, wherever your attention goes, the energy flows. So just by feeling ourselves present in our dantian, we can really feel like much more, actually just much stronger, you know, much stronger. So let's do one more little grounding exercise. This is going to be fun. So we're going to stay sitting here. What we're going to do is we're going to just bring our awareness into our spine. So we're going to feel how the spine is just going from the head, it's traveling down. At the bottom of the spine is a big sort of triangular shaped bone, which is called the sacrum. And at the bottom of the sacrum we have a little thing like a finger, which is the coccyx, or also known as the tailbone. So we're going to tune into our coccyx, and we're going to feel coming out of our coccyx we actually have this tail, which is like an energetic tail. And we're going to just follow this tail down, and we're going to feel it's going down through the tree that we're sitting on, and it's traveling down into this beautiful topsoil, this beautiful fertile topsoil down below. So we're going to feel it's going down through the topsoil, and then it's going down even further. It's hitting the clay, the bedrock. It's going right down into the earth, and it's even connecting with the molten core at the very center of the earth. So we're just going to feel how our spine is like this pillar. The tail is going down, and it's all part of the same rod. And let's just do a little wiggle. So feeling that spine really, really straight, we're going to do a wiggle on either side. And as we do our little wiggle, we're going to just feel the